Why is it that a simple, fresh, green cucumber from the field can transform into a jar of pickles, tangy, crunchy, and refreshing, that makes any meal instantly more delicious? It may sound simple, but behind it lies a long and fascinating journey. From the very first days of sowing the seeds, carefully tending each row of cucumber plants in the field, to the moment of harvest, when every cucumber is hand-picked and sorted with precision, before finally being turned into jars of golden, fragrant pickles. Pickled cucumbers, often called simply pickles, are not just a rustic dish, but something almost every family has enjoyed at least once. Just hearing the name, you can already imagine the tangy, crunchy, refreshing taste. It is the kind of food that is perfect for snacking on its own, but even more satisfying when paired with hot rice, braised pork, or crispy fried fish. In today's video, we are going to explore everything from A to Z, how cucumbers are grown and cared for. It may seem straightforward, but there are many hidden tricks. The harvesting and selection process, because not every cucumber is suitable for pickling. The secrets to making pickles that stay flavorful and crunchy, something that varies from family to family, from region to region. And finally, the cultural and nutritional story of cucumbers, a crop that has been tied to farmers around the world for countless generations. Every beginning starts with small seeds, and cucumbers are no exception. Before planting, farmers must carefully consider which variety to use. A cucumber seed is not just any seed. It has to be chosen to match the local climate, the soil conditions, and most importantly, the purpose of cultivation. Some varieties are best for eating fresh, some are better suited for pickling, and others have been bred to resist pests and diseases more effectively. Choosing high-quality seeds directly determines both yield and fruit quality. Farmers often turn to trusted seed suppliers, or they may save seeds from the previous harvest, usually from plants that produced uniform, firm cucumbers with little to no pest damage. After seed selection, preparing the soil is the next crucial step. Cucumber fields require soil that is loose, rich in organic matter, and well-drained, but also able to retain enough moisture. If the soil is too compact, roots struggle to grow. If it is too wet, the plants become prone to rot and fungal diseases. That is why farmers usually plow the soil thoroughly, leave it exposed for a few days to kill pests and weeds, and then enrich it with decomposed organic fertilizer or green manure. This not only improves soil structure, but also provides a sustainable source of nutrients for the plants. Another important practice is using agricultural plastic mulch. Though thin, these sheets bring many benefits. They help retain soil moisture, suppress weed growth, reduce the need for herbicides, and most importantly, protect the seeds from insects and other harmful factors. Once everything is ready, cucumber seeds are sown into the soil. The usual depth is about 0.8 to 1.2 inches, or roughly 2 to 3 centimeters, just enough for the seeds to absorb the necessary moisture without rotting. Proper spacing is equally important, so that as the plants grow, they have enough room to spread their leaves, photosynthesize, and thrive without competing against one another. Today, many farms use mechanized seeders. These machines distribute seeds evenly in straight rows, saving time and labor while ensuring consistent planting density. For large-scale production, this technology plays a key role in boosting yield and minimizing risks that come with uneven manual sowing. Once the seeds rest quietly in the soil, a new journey begins. Tiny green sprouts push their way through the brown earth, marking the start of a long path from the fields to family meals. From that moment on, farmers walk alongside the plants every day, nurturing, tending, and protecting them through all the challenges nature may bring. When the seeds begin to sprout, the tender green seedlings push through the brown soil like little sparks of life. This is the most fragile and critical stage in the cucumber's growth cycle. Young plants are weak and highly vulnerable to changes in their surroundings: scorching sunlight, heavy rain, strong winds, or pests and diseases. That is why careful attention from the very beginning is essential for strong growth later on. Water is the very first and most important factor. Farmers usually water the seedlings twice a day, once in the early morning, before the sun climbs too high, and once again in the late afternoon, when the heat has eased. Morning watering ensures the plants have enough moisture to photosynthesize throughout the day. Evening watering helps replenish what was lost through evaporation during the daytime. But the amount of water must be carefully adjusted. If the soil is too dry, seedlings will wilt and grow slowly. If overwatered, the soil can become waterlogged, causing root rot and fungal diseases. That is why farmers often use gentle sprinkler irrigation or drip irrigation systems, which keep the soil evenly moist without harming the fragile sprouts. Cucumbers are sun-loving plants, which means they require plenty of sunlight for photosynthesis. Farmers usually plant them on raised beds that are wide and airy, allowing the plants to receive maximum sunlight during the day. Raised beds not only help the plants catch more sunlight, but also prevent waterlogging during heavy rains, since excess water drains away more easily. This is especially important in tropical regions with frequent downpours. As soon as the vines start producing tendrils, farmers build trellises. These supports are often made from bamboo, wood, or strong nylon strings. Once the vines climb upward, they no longer sprawl on the ground, and this brings several benefits. Cucumbers grow straighter with fewer deformities. Fruits stay clean, free from mud or dirt. Soil-borne pests and diseases are less likely to infect the plants. Harvesting becomes easier, reducing labor. About 10 to 15 days after sowing, the seedlings need their first dose of fertilizer. Farmers usually apply decomposed organic fertilizer, combined with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium to provide balanced nutrition. Nitrogen promotes strong leaf and stem growth. Phosphorus stimulates root development. Potassium improves resistance and enhances fruit quality. Fertilizing is done in several rounds, usually every 10 to 15 days, depending on how quickly the plants are growing. Throughout their development, cucumber plants are highly susceptible to pests and diseases, particularly aphids, thrips, powdery mildew, and downy mildew. Farmers must carefully inspect each plant, leaf by leaf, to detect early signs of trouble. Yellowing, wilting, or black-spotted leaves are removed quickly to prevent spreading. Instead of relying on harsh chemicals, many farmers prefer to use organic solutions, such as bio-based pesticides or homemade herbal sprays made from garlic, ginger, or chili. This method is not only safer for the plants, but also helps protect the environment and human health. From dawn until dusk, farmers remain closely tied to their cucumber rows, checking soil moisture, replanting weak seedlings, tying vines to the trellis, and even picking pests off by hand. Each small task requires patience and dedication, because even the slightest neglect could put the entire harvest at risk. One unique feature of cucumber farming is that farmers often place beehives near their fields. Bees are naturally diligent creatures, making hundreds of trips each day from flower to flower in search of nectar. During this journey, pollen grains stick to their bodies and are accidentally carried to other blossoms. This is the process of natural pollination. For cucumbers, bee pollination is especially effective. Cucumber plants produce both male and female flowers, and fruit can only form when pollen from a male flower reaches a female flower. Without bees, the fruit set rate is usually low, leading to many cucumbers that are misshapen or undersized. But thanks to the helping hands of bees, female flowers are pollinated more successfully, resulting in straighter, more uniform, and more attractive cucumbers. In addition, bee pollination shortens the time needed for fruit development, bringing earlier harvests, higher yields, and noticeably better crop quality. This is why many cucumber farms today consider bees to be indispensable partners in the field. About 40 to 50 days after sowing, or roughly 58 to 82 days in the metric system, cucumber plants begin to bear fruit. At first, the cucumbers are small and tender, but within just a few days, they quickly reach the ideal size for harvesting. Farmers usually pick them early in the morning or late in the afternoon to keep their freshness. Today, many large farms use conveyor belts and harvesting machines to reduce manual labor. However, most cucumbers are still picked by hand to avoid bruising the delicate fruit. Freshly harvested cucumbers are then quickly transported to cold storage, ready for the next stage of processing. China is currently the largest cucumber producer in the world, with an output of about 77 million tons per year, which is roughly 70 million metric tons. That enormous figure is enough to supply markets across the globe. Once cucumbers arrive at the factory, the first step is washing them thoroughly with a high-pressure water spray system. This removes soil, insects, and any pesticide residue. Workers then inspect each cucumber by hand, selecting only those that meet the standards. Evenly green skin, no bruises, and no pest damage. The approved cucumbers are then sorted. The longer ones are sliced, while the shorter ones are kept whole for pickling. This stage is crucial, because the quality of the raw cucumbers directly determines the flavor and crunchiness of the final pickles. This is the stage where fresh cucumbers are transformed into crisp, flavorful pickles. A brine solution is prepared along with a mix of secret spices, often including dill, garlic, chili peppers, black pepper, or bay leaves. Each company has its own recipe, creating a unique signature taste. The cucumbers are placed into large vats or barrels, then filled with brine. The fermentation period can last anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks, and sometimes even longer, depending on taste preferences. During this time, naturally occurring lactic acid bacteria begin to grow, producing the distinct sourness. It is this fermentation process that gives pickles their crunch, their mildly tangy flavor, and their long shelf life. Once fermentation is complete, the cucumbers are taken out for packaging. Some are kept whole, while others are sliced thinly to be used as toppings for sandwiches, hamburgers, or salads. They are all packed into sterilized glass jars or plastic containers, along with a special preserving solution. Pickled cucumbers are not just a familiar side dish on Vietnamese family tables. They also bring surprising health benefits. During fermentation, beneficial bacteria, especially the lactobacillus group, thrive. These bacteria act as natural probiotics, helping to balance the gut microbiome. Eating pickled cucumbers provides the body with a rich source of these friendly microbes, which in turn improve digestion, enhance nutrient absorption, and effectively prevent constipation. Medical studies have shown that compounds in pickled cucumbers, particularly lactic acid and polyphenols, can positively influence metabolism and help regulate blood sugar levels. For people with type 2 diabetes, consuming pickles in moderation may offer certain benefits. When the cucumber skin is left on during pickling, it provides a significant amount of fiber. This fiber works like a broom for the digestive system, stimulating bowel movement and making elimination easier. It also helps reduce the absorption of bad cholesterol, which supports heart health. Pickled cucumbers also contain sodium and potassium, two essential minerals that help maintain the body's electrolyte balance. On hot summer days when the body loses a lot of sweat, or after intense exercise, eating a few pickles can quickly restore hydration and minerals, bringing a refreshing feeling and reducing fatigue. With their signature tangy crunch, pickled cucumbers are not only nutritious, but also stimulate gastric juices, boosting appetite. This is why they are often served alongside heavier, oily dishes to balance the overall flavor of the meal. One of the most fascinating things about pickled cucumbers is that while the basic ingredients are the same, the way they are prepared and enjoyed varies greatly across different cultures. 1. In Europe, pickles have long been a familiar side dish at both festive gatherings and everyday meals. In Germany or Poland, they are often served with grilled sausages, dark rye bread, or cured meats. The tangy crunch of pickles balances the richness of meat and cheese, making the dishes easier to enjoy. In many Northern European countries, cucumbers are pickled with dill, mustard seeds, and black pepper, creating a distinctly sharp and spicy flavor. 2. In the United States, pickles are considered the soul of a hamburger. A crunchy slice of pickle layered between juicy beef, melted cheese, and creamy sauce not only enhances the flavor, but also balances the taste. In the U.S., pickles are usually lightly sour, made by soaking cucumbers in diluted vinegar, sometimes with a touch of sugar to create a harmony between sourness and sweetness. 3. The special variety, gherkin. Gherkins are a small type of cucumber, only about 1.2 to 2.4 inches long, or roughly 3 to 6 centimeters, with a bumpy skin, usually pickled whole. Unlike regular cucumbers, gherkins, after pickling, develop an extra crisp bite, a gentle tang, and a subtle fragrance from spices such as dill, mustard seeds, pepper, or bay leaves. This type of pickle is very popular in both Europe and the United States, often served as an appetizer with salads or alongside cold cuts. Many food enthusiasts even consider gherkins the refined version of traditional pickled cucumbers. From a tiny seed, the cucumber goes through a long journey. sown into the soil, nurtured with the sweat and effort of farmers, thriving under the sun and wind, then harvested, processed, and finally transformed into the crisp, tangy jars of pickles that appear on dining tables all around the world. This is not just an agricultural story. It is also a testament to human wisdom, perseverance, and creativity in turning something simple into lasting value. Each seed planted in the earth does more than sprout into a plant. It also grows into food culture, childhood memories, and the bonds of family. So the next time you enjoy a crunchy bite of pickled cucumber, remember that behind its simple flavor lies an extraordinary journey. If you found this journey fascinating, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can discover the hidden value behind everyday foods. And do not forget to leave a comment below. What dish do you usually enjoy pickles with the most? Side dish,